And do that. And do that.
Okay, I think we had some folks that were latecomers. I've admitted them, so everyone is here. Okay, for the benefit of the public, we had a brief executive
I don't see
session.
Mrs. Sparks.
What happened to her?
And the mayor's, oh. And Randy, the mayor's muted.
Well, who controls that?
Okay.
All right, let me find out where.
Randy, Mr. City Clerk just exited. He had to leave the room for a moment. He'll be right back. So we'll just hold off until he gets back in so that he can record these minutes.
Does anyone have Ms. Sparks' phone number and can reach her and ask her to join?
I will.
Randy, while I'm waiting on Judd to get back in, how do we set this camera up so that it's all of us with this? Judd,
Now,
put that back the way we had it. With the squares, everybody's all on the counts at one time. Get in there. Okay.
we're still waiting for Ms. Sparks.
Hey, Ms. Sparks, you gotta leave that room and then join your meeting. Does anyone know, does she have to hang up and call back in since she's not on Zoom? She's like calling in?
I've never done it by telephone.
Yeah, you probably will then.
It might be the shortest and fastest way for her to do it is just hang up.
Yeah, call back in.
That's what she can
Thank
even hear us.
you. All right, bye-bye.
No, Ms. Owen was speaking with her.
She's gonna hang up and call back in.
Okay.
All right, so we'll wait.
Here she is.
Hello?
You're here.
Okay, we're here.
Okay.
We're gonna start back from the beginning. Resolution number 1, the appointment of
Mayor, can I, for the public's benefit, we had a brief executive session. The purpose of the executive session was to discuss the scope and terms of the solicitor's contract. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you. Moving back to resolution number 1, the appointment of the city solicitor, I'll nominate Randy Lafferty for the calendar year 2021.
Second.
You need a motion and a second. I made the nomination.
I make a motion to nominate Mr. Lafferty for the solicitor for
I'll
the year 2021.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dilch,
Yes. Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Miss Sparks,
Yes.
Mayor Vinesia.
Yes. Moving over to resolution 1021.
Thank you. Mayor and council.
You're welcome.
Authorizing 10, the janitorial services. I make a motion to continue on with personal touch. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dilge, Yes. Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Miss Sparks,
Yes.
Mayor Vinesia.
Yes. Moving over number 11, the authorizing of award for animal control services. I make the nomination for Shore Animal Control for $500 a month. That's actually my motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I will just say that, based upon what I am aware of what they've been doing this year, they have done a good job. They have a very challenging job, especially with some of the colony issues that are going on with a couple different streets in town. So hopefully we'll be able to get that underway. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dilge, Yes. Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Miss Sparks,
Yes.
Mayor Vinesia.
Yes. Number 12, technology services for West Barbara Consulting. I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dilge, Yes. Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Miss Sparks,
Yes.
Mayor Vinesia.
Yes. Moving down to resolution 13, I'll make the necessary motion to approve the temporary budget. That being 26.25% of our total 2019 previous appropriation, in the amount of $263,934. I made the motion. Is there a second? Does anybody want to approve a temporary budget?
Any other finance committee members out there?
Yes.
This is a city council, issue.
I have a discussion.
Hold on, let's get,
I think that's.
there's a motion, a second. What do you have to bring up, Judge?
Well, you had mentioned about the fire company with the radios, and I talked with the fire chief today, and we need to put something in the temporary budget if this is where you would like to purchase these radios as quick as possible. So the chief and I discussed it, and we think that there should be a line item in there of about $10,000 in the capital line item, so we can purchase up to 5 radios. We did discuss taking it out of the line item, but that would cut them short for all the testing and everything.
I will tell you this, in speaking with the chief, I know that there was 2 particular issues that occurred with a house fire this year. One of them on Cumberland Avenue, the Shulo house. The other one was very recently on New Year's Eve, the Garrick house. And quite frankly, they have a communication problem. They have very outdated radios. And God forbid if there's ever a Mayday situation where you have a member of another company or even our company, it's in a burning building and they have not the proper communication to be able to get extra help to come in or whatever the case may be. I value everybody's life equally and they're all very important. I can't imagine that we would not consider that this shouldn't be. I mean, this is one of those necessities that we have to do it. We have extremely outdated equipment that's got to be updated. Most municipalities are all going to the 800 megahertz channel anyway. So Danny's going to have more information for us, but I would like to be able to have that included in. So the amount that we're going to do is
10,000.
273.
I just wanted to add that the radios aren't outdated, they just don't work with the new frequency. So with the new frequency of 800, like you said, that would be a lot better for
I
them.
was told point blank they are outdated.
Well, they do.
I don't know, so
Well, whatever.
either way, they're not communicating with other fire companies, and that could be a serious issue. And certainly a liability issue to the town. So we're making the temporary budget from 263,000 now to 273,000, Mr. Moore?
Correct.
All right, I make the necessary motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We did have a
Second.
motion, and Ms. Owen already had.
Yeah, but now we have a new number, so on technicality purposes, I will withdraw my original motion and update it to a new motion of $273,934. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call for this, please.
Mr. Dilch,
Yes.
Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Ms. Owen,
Yes.
Ms. Sparks,
Yes.
Mayor Benesia.
Yes. Okay. Next we have a bunch of resolutions. I'm gonna box in from 14 to 28, or excuse me, 14 to 21. I actually believe that that's very, very mundane, generic. I would like motion to approve resolution 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 as a consent agenda, as a consent resolution. I make the necessary motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Next we have. Resolution 24,
22.
22, I'm sorry.
No.
Which was, 22 and 23. Next,
Can I ask a question first, please? As it relates to resolution number 21, did we actually appoint a fund commissioner and an alternate fund commissioner? I didn't hear anyone named.
it's in the resolution. If you
Okay,
read the resolution, the names are in there.
very good, thank you.
Okay. Next, moving down to 22, we have, appointment of the safety and health committees. I don't think there's any issues with that, of the names that are in there, unless somebody has objections, so I'd like to do this one separately. I'll make the motion to support 22 with the names as provided. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have 4 other members of council. Are we in favor? Are we muted? Are we muted? There was a motion and a second. Are we all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have resolution 23, the appointment of the GIFs claim coordinator. I don't see any issue with that. That's normally the city clerk, so that would be Mr. Moore to continue that role. I make the necessary motion for 23.
Well, the EPL coordinator is also in there, and that's Councilman Olson.
Councilman Olson, I apologize.
Need a second.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Come on, guys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 24, for the Alcohol and Drug Alliance. We have, for the coordinator, Miss Gia Hawes. 2 residents, I am on standby, they have not gotten back to me yet. I myself, or a designee, will be from the city council. Miss Couple from the school, and Miss Sarah Sharp from the school also will be a part. And we have, State Trooper, Trooper Adata. He's going to be a part of this, as well. I make the necessary motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is council able to hear me? I'm wondering if we're having some technology where it's just taking slower to get it back to the other members, or is there a technology issue going on?
I don't think so. I hear you fine.
I don't know.
Okay, because council's
I hear you fine.
dragging their feet to make a second or even to vote on this, on everything that we're doing here. Don't know why. Resolution number 25, adopting Robert's Rules of Orders.
Put all the rest of them together there.
Let's see. Yes, well, actually, yes, I'll lump the rest of them in from 25 to 31,
32,
which 32?
revision to consultant's contract. That's when you revised
Okay. I see it in front of me now, yep. Okay, I'll make the necessary motion. Is there a second? I know this is hard to do, guys, but does somebody want to make a second?
Second, can you hear me? Second?
Yeah, I hear you, Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Ms. Sparks, are you in favor?
Yes,
Okay, we didn't hear you.
I'm trying to, I'm okay.
Moving back to number 30, I just want to throw this in there, because I know it was an issue this year. We have the 13 holidays. Can we put in, Christmas Eve, the city hall will be closed, but it's just an unpaid day? Is council okay with that?
Yes.
As an unpaid-
It's an unpaid day. There's no municipality or government agency that, gives it as a paid day. So I would like to just simply give the day off that day, and, it's just an unpaid day.
Well, didn't President Trump make it a federal holiday this year?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, he did. He absolutely did.
We do have observed December 24th,
That's Christmas Eve.
right, which means that we're off on that Friday. Christmas falls on a Saturday.
Saturday. Mhm.
Okay, never mind. Moving over. We have appointments to the board commissions. We have resolution number 33, actually.
So you make that as a resolution.
We're gonna do that as a resolution, yes.
Okay.
So we did 32, which is, Ms. Blumenthal's updated contract.
Right, that should be 32, 2021.
Next, I'm moving over to, resolution number 33. With great regrets,
Hold on there, I'm sorry. There was a 33, 2021, I did send that out under the, Google Docs. That's the appointment of an OEM coordinator. I'm sorry, that's in there.
I have it right in front of me. All right, with great regrets, I need to accept, the resignation of, Jeff Cornu. Jeff has been an extremely, extremely valuable, employee to our community for a mere fraction of what his salary has been. But it's time that, he's decided he wants to have a little less responsibility. Jeff wants to continue to stay on as a deputy, and I'm sure that Jeff will make our new, appointment, that I'm about to make. We will bring him up to speed on a lot of things and be able to help him, but he just wants to relieve some of the workload off of him. I understand what he's saying, because quite frankly, he is, I use the word annihilated with email after email, just nonstop. And I think the COVID-19 issue with all the emails that we've all been receiving, but with Jeff, I think that was kind of like the straw that just broke the camel's back. With just so much that's involved and so much responsibility, he would like to just simply relieve himself of that excess responsibility. With that being said, for resolution number 33, I am honored to make the appointment of Mr. Jay Repko as our new emergency management coordinator. Next, moving down the line.
You gotta vote on that.
No, I don't think we do. That's an appointment.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's an appointment. Next, moving over to the board commissions.
Well, I had it as a resolution, so,
You have it as a resolution.
I mean, you tell me. I mean,
Said you got me a little mixed up because you gave me an extra thing going on here. Anyway. We have appointment to the boards and the commissions. So Mr. Repko was done as the emergency management coordinator. To the planning board, we have Dennis Miller, who is a class 4. I'm going to reappoint him. I guess Ms. Sparks, who was on the planning board, is now the class, something, I'm ahead of myself here. I'm sorry. Class 2. Let's go over to, the class 2 is going to be Jeannie Olson. The class 1 is myself. Class 3, I'd like to make a motion for Julie Sparks to continue to stay on. I think Julie has actually added a lot of value to our planning board in the short time that she's been there. I must say that Julie does ask some rather very interesting questions each and every month, so I would like to continue to see Julie stay on. Is there a second for her motion?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
With that being said, we have just recently had a whole bunch of new people who have been brought on because there were a couple of resignations and a couple terms that were up and so on and so on. I think we had 3 of them that people just don't have the time to do it anymore. So with that being said, the one person that I would like to move up into Ms. Sparks' previous role as a class 4 member is Paul Skull. Paul has been a very vigilant resident who has attended numerous meetings for 25 years that I am aware of, and still would be coming here, but unfortunately because of COVID, he's not here. We have Brian Lavender, who is up this year, and I'm reappointing him
for what position?
for the alternate position.
Alternate 1?
Yep.
Brian?
No, alternate 3,
Or
actually.
alternate 3.
Yeah, alternate 3.
And that's Brian?
Brian Lavender.
Keep in mind, this is what was done last year. I just recopied it, so it doesn't make sense. I just need to put something down, so.
Right. The Historic Commission, I was in here the other night, and we were just not able, for some strange reason, we couldn't find the members list for the Historic Commission. I know who was on the commission. However, I don't know when their terms are up, so I would just simply say that prospectively, whoever's appointment is up for this year is automatically reappointed for the Class B number 3 position, which is a 4-year for alternate number 1 and for alternate number 2. I know that they shuffled the deck. One of them who was a regular member switched down to an alternate. One moved back, one moved up. But nonetheless, whoever is on the commission, they are reappointed. Good. I need to get that list
Yes.
so that I can contact them.
We'll do it.
All right. The committees here, I know that there has been some bones of contention. I was not really in agreement with,
River Council.
River Council, I'm sorry. River Council, I would like to continue to have Mr. Jim Owen to stay on. Jim has faithfully attended all of the River Council meetings, and I'm sure will continue to and adds value to their council. Moving over to the council committee assignments, I was not in agreement with how council wanted to break it down into just 4 or 5 committees. We had a closed session with Randy a couple months back, who indicated all of the committee structures and the powers and duties of the mayor and everything else, and we really don't even need to have the committees. But at any rate, I'm going to ask members of council to take on some of these extra committees that are floating over. And with that being said, there is the Clean Communities. I'm going to have Mrs. Owen and Mrs. Sparks to do that committee. We have the Environmental Pinelands. I'm going to have Julie and Mrs. Julie Sparks and Mrs. Owen to serve on that committee. As far as the Health and Human Services Committee, that would be Mrs. Sparks and Mr. Dilge. The land evaluation, I would like to ask Mr. Olson to come in and help me out with that one there. The other committee, which is an important one, is the personnel. And I'd like to make Mr. Olson and Mr. Nelson as those members. The special events, I will leave that up to Mr. Olson and Mrs. Owen. The senior citizen, I would like to have Nelson and Mrs. Sparks. Technology, how could we not have Mr. Olson serve that committee as the chair with Mr. Dilge on there as well? The veterans, I'd like to see Mr. Dilge and Mrs. Owen. The recreation shall be Mr. Olson and Mrs. Owen. The school liaison would be Matt and or myself. The code committee will remain as Mrs. Owen and Mr. Olson. And that's pretty much it. One of the things that I would say that I skipped over was the League of Municipalities and Township officials. I'm not really even sure that they're gonna be meeting this year with the COVID-19. I kind of doubt that they will. But I would say that quite frankly, I think all members of council should participate with that to understand what's going on in the other communities. So once we have knowledge of when they'll be having that, reopening again is anybody's guess, but I don't actually see it happening anytime real soon. So we'll just have to be on standby for that one there.
Did we skip some of the committees?
I'm going to take care of some of those committees on my own. So there was no skip, Mr. Olson. I'm just gonna be handling those committees on my own.
Mr. Mayor, I would request a written form of duties on these committees, please.
You want a written,
I want a written form of duties and responsibilities on these committees, please.
do we have anything anywhere in town hall here? Does anybody know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Is this divided up equally too?
Pretty much. It is divided up fairly equal.
You know I'm a math teacher, right?
There's a rumor about that in town somewhere along the line, yes. Mike, what do you see that I'm not seeing here? We have it basically broken down to 5 main committees.
5?
There's only 5 committees? Because I'm on 7.
Right, I thought you just name rattled me off for 7 too.
Well, those
I'm
are,
on 6.
and how many Mrs. Sparks get?
Probably 5, 6, or 7, same as us.
Okay, so, and that's basically what I have as well. So everybody's all got an equal part, but those are how it's been broken down into. Moving along here.
No,
we have-
hold it, Mayor, let's resolve this first. I know that you don't appreciate a lot of my dialogue, but I'd like to, I got fired last year from a committee, so I'd like not to get fired again. I'd like to know either what expectations are now or when I can expect to see what the expectations are, because I'm really hesitant to do anything until I have a clear description, a clear idea of what my responsibilities to any particular committee are, lest I get fired again for not knowing what I'm doing. I'm not being flippant, and I'm not trying to wrangle your, I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers. I'm just telling you honestly. I think Mrs. Owen is correct. We need some description. We need some direction in this stuff.
And I see Mr. Dilge's point, and to the same as I was fired from my committee. Also, last year, I was questioned about many of the decisions and the reports that were made when I gave you all of the emails that pertain to everything. So I would feel more comfortable if I know exactly what my duties are and my responsibilities, and if there's any reports due and when.
I think if there's any reports that are needed for something that you're working on, you're always, any member of council is always welcome to